Mafia, be a part of my mafia. Make way, cause we coming through. Mobbed up, we the mafia. See the way that we mobbing, ain't playing with it, we ballin'.
What up, guys? It's NoChainzz, and I'm back for another commentary. And this will be episode 5 of my Rick Moss Connected Careers mode. And in this episode, we'll be facing off against the 1-3 New England Patriots. Coming into this game 3-1, losing in the first week on a 3-game winning streak since then. And there has to be a reason why the New England Patriots are 1-3. I figured it was an injury to Tom Brady, but as you guys just saw, he will be playing this week. But this team is going to try to derail us from our 3-game win streak. Like I said, after losing in week 1, and a lot of it was due to the play of Rick Moss and Peyton Manning together. And I really can't take anything away from this defense. They've been playing just great. A lot of second half shutouts, and we've actually had to come back once against the Texans, and we actually blew out the Raiders. And I can't remember the other game we won, but that comeback against the Texans was a really good one. But Spikes, I believe that's Brandon Spikes, is going to snatch that ball right away from Rick Moss, and Peyton Manning gets the interception, but he's back to pass again, throws yet another interception, so 2 consecutive interceptions, and we're already down 7-0, and they do capitalize, so now it's 14-0, and Rick Moss catches his second pass of the day actually, over the middle, and on 3rd down, Rick Moss cannot slow down enough to catch that ball, so we kick it away, and we're immediately down 21-0 as Rick Moss catches this pass right here on the sideline. And Peyton Manning has started off this game with 3 interceptions, which is just horrible. Rick Moss and him can't get on the same page. As you see that incomplete pass right there, they just can't get on the same page. The offense can't get rolling, but Rick Moss is trying to run deep, and he's going to catch this one and take the hit as well to get us inside the red zone, and he has over 80 yards on the day. So that catch is going to set up this play right here to Hill, and he is going to get the Denver Broncos on the board for the first time, and our defense stops him yet again, and Hill on another catch. So it looks like they're trying to implement Hill into this offense finally. But Rick Moss over the middle catches a touchdown to bring this deficit to only 7. And pause right here. Do you see that guy smiling? He's just laughing that Rick Moss just fried his team. I don't understand that, but he was smiling. I found that kind of funny that he thought it was funny that they just got scored on, and they're in danger of having the cardiac Broncos come back yet again on them. But that was just something funny I saw. But into the 3rd quarter, our first drive of the 3rd quarter, Rick Moss is going deep, and it is batted and somehow caught by Rick Moss. Breaks 2 tackles and dodges the last one. Is going to take this one for the touchdown. Absolutely a wild play. He catches the tipped pass, then breaks 2 tackles. It kind of reminds me of that Victor Cruz play where he tipped the pass, but actually Rick Moss didn't tip it. It looks like he had trouble reeling it in at first, but ended up doing it and breaking 2 tackles and dodging the 3rd one to get into the touchdown. Might be the best play of Rick Moss's career, but he's had so many good plays. It's really hard to distinct them, or let one stand out farther than the other. But Rick Moss gets deep yet again behind the safeties and corners and gets the 3rd touchdown of his day today, and that is just great. And the game isn't even close to being over, but with that touchdown, I believe we take the lead. I can't look at it right now because the replay is playing, but I think we scored 28 unanswered points. Yeah, with that touchdown, we actually took the lead, and we scored 28 unanswered points, and our defense, like I said, is playing great and has stopped them ever since they scored their 21st point or their 3rd touchdown. So this defense is important as anything that this team has right now. But Rick Moss is running deep again, gets up the sideline, and scores yet again. So 4 touchdowns on the day for Rick Moss so far. And we scored 35 unanswered points into the 3rd quarter. So our defense is shutting them down, and Rick Moss is deep again, and that'll bring the 3rd quarter to a close. And into the fourth quarter here, we have a 42-21 lead. And Rick Moss is blocking, and Willis McGahee, he gets a nice run to get us into the red zone, which would set up this Matt Prater field goal. And at this point, this game is out of reach. And the Denver Broncos come back from 21 down all the way to scoring 45 unanswered points. Did you hear that? Let me repeat that. 45 unanswered points. And Rick Moss, again, with a 4-touchdown game and about 350 receiving yards. And I think due to that, it's a crazy game. Just unrealistic stats, but Rick Moss is that receiver. I think he's the best receiver to ever play football. So it's only once in a few decades do receivers like Rick Moss come around, who's so good at getting downfield and beating his defenders physically and beating his defenders in terms of speed and able to go over middle and able to go up top as well. It's only every few decades where a receiver like him comes along, and he is definitely going to shatter record books in his NFL career. But in terms of Madden, do you guys want me to lower the quarter length? Because I think that might be why. I think I play on like 8-minute quarters. I'm not sure. I think 7 or 8. But yeah, 335 yards. I think that's it. 4 touchdowns. And here is the news center. Nothing too interesting, except for Susanna Collins. She's always funny. She always says some funny stuff in the news center, along with Skip Bayless, and he's just absurd. I don't really pay attention to Skip Bayless anymore because he just says some crazy stuff. But here you see the season-long goals. I have 65 catches, and I'll get 10,000 XP for that once I get that. So that is definitely good. But here I have 5,344 XP points to spend, and I'm trying to figure out which one I want to spend it on. And I go ahead and go with a catching upgrade, I think, or catching traffic. I could upgrade release, but it's already a 90. I want to get all my core attributes to 90s, and then I'll start working on everything else. But I think I do go with catching, but believe it or not, his catching isn't a 90. So I'm going to go ahead and raise it to 87. And this is something interesting I wanted to do. I wanted to look at another Moss, Randy Moss, no relation at all, but I wanted to look at his stats and see where Rick Moss is, if he's on pace to mimicking Randy Moss' success or Randy Moss's success, because I think if we perform anywhere near as good as Randy Moss, he'll be a Hall of Famer. So that's just somebody I wanted to base our success off of, or try to mimic their success. But here's Rick Moss's 1 year and already beat Randy Moss's rookie year by a few hundred yards and a few touchdowns, and it's looking really good for Rick Moss. And we've only played 5 games this season, so wow, it's scary to see. It is definitely scary to see what Rick Moss is going to do, or what he's going to finish with. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And I might lower the quarter length to like 5 minutes for you guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed this.